Look, I'm going to be straight with you. The dealership doesn't want your old truck to survive. Not because it's broken, because it's working too well. They've been quietly cutting off the parts supply on early 2000s trucks, betting you'll eventually walk into a showroom and sign a 72-month loan on something that spies on you. But here's what they got wrong. American mechanics don't quit, they adapt. Today I'm showing you exactly how real guys are ripping out factory electronics, hardwiring their own controls, and making their trucks completely untouchable by the corporate parts game. This isn't theory. These are real fixes from real mechanics. Stay with me, because this gets seriously good. Let's start with the brain of your truck, the engine control module. When it dies on your early 2000s rig, the dealership smiles and says, "Sorry, discontinued." Don't panic. Smart mechanics are pulling the whole factory ECM out and dropping in standalone aftermarket systems like a Holly Terminator. You control your own fuel, your own spark, and nothing phones home to any corporate server. Now here's what your shop buddy might forget to warn you about. Yank the factory computer without planning ahead, and your automatic transmission immediately locks in a third gear. That's limp mode. The fix is straightforward, though. Wire in a standalone transmission controller, or just swap in a manual transmission with a clutch pedal. Zero electronics, zero dealership leverage, completely done. Next up, the ignition. A lot of guys wire in a toggle switch. Engine starts, runs 2 seconds, then dies. Super confusing, right? That's GM's VATS or Ford's PATS anti-theft system reading a microchip inside your factory key. Wrong resistance value and fuel gets cut immediately. The bypass is literally a 10-cent resistor soldered into 2 wires that permanently fools the computer. Once you beat the anti-theft system, you wire up a $5 Marine-grade toggle switch for ignition power and a simple push button for the starter. Looks clean, costs almost nothing, and works perfectly every single time. You just replaced a discontinued proprietary part with stuff from a hardware store. Here's one people seriously sleep on: the climate control system. Blend door actuators strip out. Factory modules run $400 used, if you can even find one. The fix? Wire a $10 rheostat dial directly to your blower motor resistor. Turn the knob right, fan speeds up. Turn it left, fan slows down. Blows ice-cold air and never once needs a software update. Now the nuclear option, when the harness is completely cooked and you're just totally done fighting electronics. You go carburetor. Modern engines use individual coil packs, so there's no distributor hole. But you either wire in an aftermarket ignition controller box or you pull the whole engine and drop in a pre-1986 small block Chevy. Carb on top, distributor in the block, mechanical fuel pump. No sensors, no leap mode, no codes whatsoever. A carburetor runs on pure air and fuel physics, nothing more. Air moves fast through the venturi, fuel follows. There's no throttle body to fail, no mass airflow sensor to throw codes, no idle control valve to stick. And if a gasket blows in the middle of nowhere, one guy literally cut a replacement from a cereal box with a pocket knife and drove 40 miles home. You cannot do that with a microchip. Bottom line, the automakers bet we'd eventually surrender and start subscribing like good little customers. They read us completely wrong. The aftermarket grew, the knowledge spread, and mechanics doing this stuff are building trucks that'll run another 40 years easy. So tell me in the comments, what's the most extreme thing you've done to keep an old vehicle alive? Hit subscribe if you're with us, and we'll see you in the next one.